Today's video is sponsored by Skillshare. Hey everyone, welcome back to Lori's Boston Found, where thrifted is the new black. My name is Lori. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm a full-time reseller on Poshmark, eBay, and Mercari. Today I am doing a little Q&A. I posted on my Instagram stories that I would be doing this, so some people sent me in some questions. I'm hoping to get to all of them. So thank you to anybody who gave me a question. I want to do a little different take on this video today. So I'm answering some of my questions vlog style throughout my house in the morning. So we're actually going to jump back a few hours and start our day when I am curling my hair and getting ready for the day. I did not sleep well at all last night. I don't know what it was. I went to bed late. I woke up super early and I couldn't sleep. So I showered at like 6 a.m. to get ready for this video. I'm a little zony right now, but let's go back and I will start to answer some of the questions. If you are having a good time at any point in this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And of course, I would love so much for you to subscribe to my channel. It's free for everybody and it really makes a huge impact on my channel here. So thank you so much. All right, let's get started. You see, sometimes my hair is straight, sometimes I put curls in. It's just getting dry as I get old. But anyways, first question. All right, this comes from my friend Heidi over at Restyle Secrets. Her question is, what did you learn about yourself in 2020 that surprised you? Listen, Heidi always has such thought-provoking questions for me. I would say that I am typically a person who feels unsettled if I'm home all day long, which is funny because my sign is Cancer and we're known for being homebodies, and I am a homebody. However, I feel like I need a lot of get up and go time during the day to keep my interest, and I am so surprised by how content I am by being home, like for hours and days on end, especially now with Thriftless February. There are just so many days where I just stay home and I'm just happy and the days go by so quickly. I don't know if that's my age or what the deal is, but I could never stay home all day before 2020. And that surprises me. It surprises me how content I am to be home. And it surprises me how productive I can be at home with my job when I'm focused. So I think that is definitely something in 2020 that surprised me. I'm also a little bit surprised that I was able to grow my business. Having content to bring to either YouTube or items to list on Poshmark, things to post on Instagram kind of kept me accountable and it kept me motivated and kept me going. Do I want curls today or do I just want to go straight hair? See how this side comes in nice and soft and this just kind of drags because I'm right-handed. This one is from Elizabeth_Chiz, C-H-I-Z. Hi Lori, love your videos. Been a fan for quite a while now. What is your average cost of goods? Thank you, Elizabeth. I, for some miracle, always end up around $5 for my cost of goods. I'm definitely at a place right now where I'm more and more comfortable paying up for the right item, but I still have my fair amount of trips to the bins and my half off days at Savers where I'm getting things for $1.50, $2, $3, $4. So all in, I really do land around $5 for my cost of goods. Sometimes a little bit less if I'm shopping smart, but I would say between 4 and 6. Yeah, and that works for me. For a long time, my average selling price was around $30, and that has crept up recently. So I think it's somewhere now between like 33 and 35. So let's be conservative. Say I sell an item for $30, Poshmark takes 20%. So they're gonna take $6. That leaves me with 24, minus my cost of goods is $5. That's a $19 profit, and then I am tripling my investment. So I'm really happy with that. Jamie Poshmark asked, I know you sell on eBay, suggestions for shipping tips there. I am overwhelmed. One of the things to take into consideration if you're a new seller over on eBay is doing calculated shipping. I think that eliminates the risk as a seller that you may underestimate how much an item is going to cost, and then you end up like really eating into your profits if you miscalculate, or say you live on the East Coast and you sell a pair of boots to the West Coast and you only charge $5 for shipping. That was one of my most costly mistakes. to date. So doing calculated shipping instead of flat rate shipping or flat fee shipping can be helpful. But as a buyer, I like to know what I'm paying for shipping. I don't love calculated shipping as a buyer. So I tend to mark a lot of my shipping things between like $5 and $8 depending. I'll go a little bit higher on shoes, and if it's a super lightweight item, I'll go very low. And if it's a super high-end item that won't be a lot of money to ship, I might consider doing free shipping, but I typically charge for my shipping. Just makes me feel better about my sales. I don't charge shipping on Mercari, but I can talk a little bit about that. That's another question. Definitely get a scale. I have a scale in my Amazon store that I think I paid like $20, $25 for, and I just keep that right on my desk next to my Fomemo label printer, and the scale really helps. If you're unfamiliar with how things go, when you're entering an item on eBay, they do ask for a weight. I usually estimate the weight. For me, my big thing is, am I going to be able to ship this first class, which is under 16 ounces, under a pound, or is this something that I am going to have to ship priority and then pay north of $7.50? If it's something like a blouse or a t-shirt or a pair of leggings, 9 times out of 10, those are under a pound. So I can do that $5.99 shipping rate, and if I pay $1 or make $1, that's okay with me. It's when things get heavy that I want to make sure that I weigh them, or I'm just way more conservative with how I'm doing my shipping. And then you have to remember, if it's first class, you cannot use priority mail, which gets me a lot because I love to use the Tyvek mailers, and sometimes I have a lightweight item, and then I just have to use like one of my poly mailers that I purchase through Amazon, like a decorative one. But I've been using those less and less, and using the free stuff from USPS more and more, and you can order all your shipping supplies right on their website, and they are free, which is what we love. I hope I answered that question okay for you. You're gonna make a few mistakes when it comes to shipping. I always recommend that people start with lightweight items, because then your cost is just less even if you do make a mistake. When I first went back to eBay, I started on eBay like 25 years ago. But when I came back to reselling, I really hit the ground running with Poshmark, and that's been my main platform going on 3 years. So when I started going back to eBay, I was just shipping lightweight items. You know, if I'm trying to ship a bra, for example, on Poshmark, someone's gonna have to pay $7 to have that shipped to them. Those lightweight items are great for eBay. Hats, scarves, things that are super lightweight, I consider very low risk to sell on eBay. So hopefully those tips help you. Don't be afraid of eBay. It's a great platform. It's been wonderful for me to just kind of see it slowly grow in 2021 since I've finally been dedicated to it. All right, hopefully my curling iron is hot and I can put some curls in my hair. I used to have such thick hair as a kid, and it just isn't anymore. I don't like to do the curl too high up here, so I pull it down and then just really do the ends. It's really just the ends that I hate to look so dry. I like to straighten first because then it's just a little less frizzy. We are good to go. Some good lighting. Okay, on my iPad, next question. This is from Jessica Al Sorbo. Okay, best time or times of day to share your closet. I think what's really important about sharing your closet is making sure you're sharing it consistently. I like to share my closet between 2 and 4 times a day. I used to share to the individual parties a lot more than I do now, but I do like to kind of wake up my Poshmark closet, so to speak. So when I grab my coffee and sit down and kind of like look over my likes from the night before, things like that, I will just start sharing my closet and sending out offers, creating some bundles, that sort of thing. Maybe I'll have a draft that I like to go live in the morning just to get the juices flowing. So I do like to share early. I'm on the East Coast, so sometimes I wait until like 8 or 9 to share my closet, but you never know. Sometimes you catch the people who are up early before work. That's good too. So I think what's important is that you're sharing often. Yeah, so I think consistency is probably more important than time of day, I guess, in my opinion. You know, sometimes I've shared my closet super late at night, East Coast time, if it's like midnight, and then I'm catching some West Coast people. The idea is to constantly be sharing so that your items are going to the top of the search when people are looking for stuff, and be sure those pictures are nice and clean too. Yvonne wrote, were you ever afraid of people bashing you for reselling when it has nothing to do with your degree? Never, not really. I mean, I think I felt a little personal guilt sometimes by not using my teaching degree, but in a sense, being here on YouTube and kind of sharing my experience, I feel like I am teaching in a small way. So I think I put that pressure on myself more than anything, because you think in terms of like paying for a degree and then not using it. But I kind of feel like all of my experiences in life have kind of led me to reselling. So I still think that what I learned through my college experience and getting my master's helped me do what I do today. And if you're experiencing people bashing you, if that's why you asked that question, I'm sorry. And I think sometimes you just have to put the blinders on, and if you're working hard and you're making money, your success will be the best medicine for anybody who's giving you a hard time. So just keep working hard. There were probably, not to my knowledge, but I am certain that there were a lot of people who, when I started reselling, you know, never imagined it would turn into what it has for me. But nobody ever expressed that to me. I don't know. That sort of stuff doesn't get under my skin too much anyways. But no, I think I've been very fortunate and received a lot of support for what I do. One more, because this is a quick one. New York City Posh Stop asked, what is your oldest listed item and how old is it? I need to look at Seller Insight to figure that out. I do know that whatever it is, it's over 900 days old. 900! Which is so embarrassing, but I'm gonna figure that out right now. What's funny is I just relisted this item. My oldest item in my closet was this BCBG Max Osria romper. Rompers, they just don't move for me right now. But anyways, it was new with tag, with a $175 price tag on it. I recently updated this listing and I included some new pictures. I used an app that removes the background. So it started and it looked like this. And then I brightened it up and now it looks like this, and I relisted it. And so now it is a newer item, but that was the oldest, 905 days. So almost 3 years, right? So basically it was probably one of my very first listings. 905 divided by 365. So 2.479 years in my closet. Not good. I don't recommend leaving things in your closet for that long. All right, everyone, I just want to take a moment to thank today's sponsor, Skillshare. Skillshare offers thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people on topics including illustration, design, photography, video, freelancing, and more. Members get unlimited access to thousands of inspiring classes with hands-on projects and feedback from a community of millions. It's curated specifically for learning, meaning there are no ads, and they're always launching new premium classes, so you can stay focused and follow wherever your creativity takes you. And it's less than $10 a month with an annual subscription. So today, the first 1,000 people to use the link in my description will get a free trial of Skillshare Premium membership. So this year, one of my goals for Lori's Boston Found is to expand my brand through things like merchandise and maybe some custom stickers. So Skillshare really comes in handy when I'm looking for a creative way to promote my brand. So this is the intro to Procreate, illustrating on the iPad. It's an updated version. It's so nice to be able to have the course broken down by chapters, and I can really take it at my own pace. I think that it's the best way to go. Even if I'm on limited time, I can pop into Skillshare and I can just take a chapter or two. They also have a class on how to start an Etsy shop. Just so many things that really tap into the creative side of my business. So be sure to check out the link in my description and start your premium membership today. You will be so excited that you did. Regarding Vendoo, what happens if something sells at the same time on multiple platforms? That is from Wendy. So I've been talking about this a lot in my recent videos. Vendoo offers this add-on for $4.99, relist and delist. It has been so incredible. I just want to do like a 10-minute video on this feature. If you have entered something in your inventory, it has to be something you've already imported to Vendoo, but all of my new listings this is working for, and my new listings are the ones that I'm cross-posting. So some of my old ones, they're not even on eBay, so it's irrelevant. But I have about 350 new listings on eBay since the start of the year. You click on the item that has sold, you go onto your sidebar and you choose the marketplace that it's sold on. So I would click on, say, Poshmark, and then you click on like a little bar that comes down and it says mark as sold or delist. So I will click mark as sold. Then a window comes up, you price it at what it's sold for. If I had an item listed for $45 and somebody sent me a $35 offer that I accepted, I will go in and say that it actually sold for $35. To the right of that is a place where you can write your cost of goods. And then you press save, and as it is marking that as sold, it will automatically go into your other marketplaces and delist it if it's listed in other marketplaces. It is like so exciting to me. The second I sell something, I go over to Vendoo, I mark it sold, I say what my cost of goods were, and then I just watch it as it delists from my other marketplaces. And then you have no worries. I've been really loving Vendoo. I think that's kind of old news by now. But yeah, that relist and delist feature is a game changer. This is from Scorpio Vixen. How did you learn how to spot fake authentic pieces? I get excited and then I get paranoid, is what she said. So I think we've all had those moments where we've come across a piece and we think it's real, but we're not too sure. We're not really experienced with a particular brand. I purchased a Gucci envelope clutch at an estate sale. I paid for a service for people to authenticate it. There are so many services out there. I used realauthentication.com, and there was also like a coupon for $10 off your first authentication. I think I paid $10 or $15, and then when I sold the piece, I actually included an image of the authentication certificate with it when I did the listing. But you're probably wondering, like, before you even get to that point, how do you know whether to buy it or not? I think the answer to that question is it really depends on the cost. If I am somewhere and I'm debating on whether or not something is authentic, and I'm like in the thrift store or at the Goodwill outlet or at an estate sale, if I'm unsure of whether or not it's real and it's a low budget, for me, sometimes I think it's worth the education of buying a piece, taking it home, and then really researching. So it's happened to me on 2 occasions where I did the research myself. One was I found a Montclair down jacket at the bins, and I had never heard of it, but I had been in the market for a coat. And the sales associate brought me over to the section and she recommended this brand Montclair. And that was the only reason I had heard of that brand. And then like a week later, I found this coat at the bins and it was filthy and it was a lot of work. I took it home. It was a big project. I spent hours looking into that brand, looking at different labels, looking at how it was faked, trying to place like the year this particular coat was made, and it was really interesting to me. I happen to really love researching items, so it was fun for me to research it. It turned out to be authentic and ended up selling on eBay after like 7 to 10 months for I think $250. That was a $2 investment, so that was a no-brainer. More recently, I picked up an Hermes vest that was in the children's section of a local thrift store. It was priced at $7.99 or $9.99, and then I had a coupon. It was between $8 and $10 anyways. And again, it didn't look authentic to me. This one I had even more questions about, but I thought for $8, I am willing to take that loss, should this end up being fake, to go home and research. And I am about 99% sure that this Hermes vest is authentic. I am sending it to The RealReal. I found I didn't find, one of my viewers found. So whoever you are, thank you so much. And they sent me a Poshmark listing, new with tags, for the same vest that somebody had listed on Poshmark for $650. So the fact that it was new with tags was great. But in general, if you're not sure, I always really take a good look at the hardware, and I look at details that if something is being faked, people would skip those things. Like you look for serial numbers inside, you look for the origin of where it was made. Was it made in Italy? Or is the tag like a cheap tag? Because a lot of these luxury brands, they go to great lengths to brand their items. So in the case of the Hermes vest, they had like a silicone, like a rubber tag, which was way off to me. But what was a good sign to me was there were buttons on the back of the vest and then this little leather pull to cinch it in a little bit. And the leather, it was actual leather and it looked a little worn. And I thought that that was a good indicator because it was real leather. And then on the buttons, Hermes was spelled out, Hermes Paris on the buttons. So there are certain things that you look for. I think you get better with time, you know, the more you research things. And there are some good fakes out there and you're probably gonna buy one. But if you're really paranoid, I would always recommend getting something authenticated. And if it's a luxury item, you're going to make back that $20 in most cases that you pay to have that piece authenticated. So I just think it's worth it. You never wanna sell a fake item. I think right now Rothy's are hugely faked, and I see a lot of people with listings and then I'll see in the comments like, that's fake, that's fake, that's fake. You just want to be careful you're not selling counterfeit. And also anything that's over $500 that's sold on Poshmark will get authenticated at Poshmark. So I have always felt good about the idea of purchasing anything that's over $500 because they guarantee authentication in a piece. So if you are buying a luxury item, I would be wary of those items that, you know, the seller doesn't seem to be very forthcoming with whether or not it's authentic, and it's listed at like $475 or $499. I'm always very suspicious of that price point because I feel like at $500, the authentication automatically happens. So a few things to think about. I hope that helped. All right, so I'm back at my desk and I am probably going to finish up most of our questions here. Next up, this is Mom of a Rock Star, that's great, asked, how do you get away security tags off of liquidation fast and easy? Oh my gosh, this is like a haunting question. If anybody watched me earlier in the week, I was struggling. As you know, I've been trying to go through old death pile inventory, money pile stuff, and I made a huge purchase at a Salvation Army where I picked up a bunch of new with tag Zara stuff, and it's been several months at this point, and the security tag I thought I could remove by buying magnets. I bought 2 different magnets. I spent $60. Come to find out, my good friend Rafaela from the Bins Queen informed me that the sensor tag I was trying to remove was not a magnetic one and that I would need to like use wire clippers. I've seen people burn off the sensor and then remove the spring. People have slammed them with hammers, and I'm here to tell you that those sensors are still on the freaking clothing. I think one of the items still has a Salvation Army tag on it, so I think I just might take it to a store and see if they can take it off. It looks like it's a similar sensor to what they use at TJ Maxx, so I am so sorry. I do not have a great answer for that. Like I said, some people have burned it off, which looks dangerous. Wire cutters, a hammer. I even took 2 forks and tried to separate them, and none of them worked on my particular stuff. When I tried to use the wire cutters, I got too close to a white blouse and I kind of ruined it. So I just had to step away from the sensors because I really struggled. So if you are somebody who is good at removing store sensor tags from liquidation, please comment below. I think a magnet usually works, but the style that I had didn't work. So unfortunately, I cannot answer that question, and I wish I could, because I wish I could list those things. They've just been in a bag forever. Next question is from Thrift to Malou. Oh, that's really cute. How do you share all of your listings on Poshmark, and do you share your closet multiple times per day? Thanks. So I do use a VA to share my closet. I shared my closet on my own until I was at about 700 listings. Then, as many of you know, my dad, who is retired, shared my closet for probably 6 months. And he would do one full closet share in the morning. And then he hurt himself, he fell and he hurt his wrist, and it happened to be at a time where I was like over 1,000 listings and it was just getting to be a lot. So then I finally paid for a service to share my closet. I think I pay $20 a month for my service. Sharing your closet is definitely something you can outsource. Once you reach a point in your business where your time is becoming more and more important, which, let's face it, time is always important with our businesses. But there was a time with my Poshmark closet where it was super easy to share my closet. And I find I've lost touch with some of my pieces, like that item that's been listed for 900 days. I feel like if I were sharing my own closet, those are things I would catch sooner. So as much as I love it because it's a huge time saver and I would never go back, I do miss it, weird enough, sometimes. I miss knowing my inventory so well. And yes, I do share my closet multiple times a day because I'm not sharing it anymore. You can hire a virtual assistant, you can have someone do it live, you can do it through automation. There are a ton of options. My only tip is if you are paying someone to share your closet and they are charging you a lot of money, I would be very hesitant to take that service on. Do your homework, find out what service you can get for less money. There is a woman on Instagram, and if I can find her handle, I'll list it here. I've never used her service, but I've heard great things about it. Her name is Rachel, and she has come up with a Poshmark approved way of making it easier and faster for people to share their own closet. And what she does, I believe, is somehow she configures your screen so that your items line up vertically. I could be way off on this. And you can like go through and it clicks at a much faster rate. And I know people rave about her service. So I just wanted to give you a few different options. I hope that helps. This question is from Kathy. Your favorite item in your closet that you are shocked hasn't sold yet? That's a good question. There is something that actually comes to mind. Reformation is a brand that I had been on the hunt for a very long time. And I found this really pretty Reformation dress at this place called the Garment District for any of my local people. It's a really fun thrift store, costume shop in Cambridge. And I found a Reformation dress and I think I paid like $25, $30 for it. Maybe not quite that much, but I know I paid in the 20s because I was so thrilled just to find a Reformation dress and I had heard so much about it. And that is still in my closet. I have it listed for over $100 and that's probably the problem. And I think when I did my haul, somebody shared with me that it was an older label, which I wasn't familiar with the labels because it's not ever been something that I have sourced before. So that is sitting and it's been there for a very long time. And I've sent out offers, I think as low as like $70 with free shipping. So maybe it's time for a relist with a more reasonable price tag. Because I paid up so much and because there was so much hype over Reformation, I thought it was a really big deal that I had found that and it's still sitting. Okay, next question. I did want to come back to this. How do you handle shipping for items sold on Mercari? Great question. I found Mercari's shipping options to be weird. I didn't even spend much time on them, but they were expensive and I was just uncomfortable with it. So I just decided to do free shipping because Mercari charges less on their fees. They take a smaller percentage. So I figured, well, whatever I save in fees, I will probably spend in shipping. And sometimes I'll mark my items up just by $2 to $3. Like if I list it for $32 on Poshmark, I might list it for $35 on Mercari, and then every single one of my items on Mercari is free shipping. I've only sold 2 items on Mercari, so I opt to ship on my own. That is like one of the options on Mercari. Like that's not an option on Poshmark. I do all of my shipping through Pirate Ship, which I highly recommend. You can also link accounts. Like I have Pirate Shipping linked to my Shopify. It will even give tracking information and updates and stuff like that so they can track their purchase, which is great. I love Pirate Ship. They have some deal that they can offer some seriously competitive pricing. So sometimes when I'm shipping something on eBay, I will price check over on pirate ship to see if it's a better deal, and then I'll opt to ship through pirate ship sometimes if I'm saving a significant amount of money. Other times I will just go through eBay because it's easier if it's only a few cents. Pirate ship is great. That's how I ship all of my Mercari pieces, and I do offer free shipping. Great question. All right, my last question comes from a viewer on YouTube. What do you use to run comps for eBay? Sellhound or other apps? I actually just look at sold comps on eBay. So when I am looking to see what things are selling for, I'll type in whatever it is, Lululemon camo hoodie, bum, bum, bum. And then I will go over and I'll filter to sold or completed items. Then I look and see what they sold for. I think you can filter by what sold closest to the date you're looking at, so you can see comparable prices that way. I also look at sold comps on Poshmark a lot, and people are like, oh, well, if items get bundled in Poshmark, you don't get a true sense of what they're selling for. But if it's something that has a lot of comps, you know, if I'm looking at 30 comps on a camo hoodie from Lululemon, and I see that a couple are outliers, I look to the middle. You know, nothing is set in stone. You can kind of get an idea of what they're selling for, and then you decide, do you want to price competitively and be a little bit below what you're seeing things sell for? Oh, my light just went out. Or do you want to price a little on the higher side, maybe wait a little bit longer for that item to sell, but then get a greater return? Whatever your strategy is, you can do based on what you see for those comps. I actually never use Sellhound. I used to use Completely, but I don't think that app works anymore. And I found that I didn't love how that was set up. I just like looking at regular sold comps. So yeah, that's all. And then the same woman wrote, are we able to purchase your merch? So I mentioned in my last video, and I wasn't sure if it was connected, that I had designed some merchandise through Teespring. And so if you look to the bottom where my description is, below that there is like a band of my merchandise. I have a face mask, I have a hoodie, a t-shirt, and a tote bag, and a mug. All that says thrifted is the new black. My stuff is shipped, so I will definitely market it more when my stuff comes in, but there is a link there. You can also go to my Instagram. I have a link in my bio that will bring you directly to Teespring if you're interested in getting any of my merchandise, and I am completely humbled and honored by anybody who would want to buy my stuff. But thrifted is the new black, and I love my little slogan, and I thought it was time to get that on some merchandise. So that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I want to give another shout out to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you want to be part of my community, and I will be back real soon, everybody. Thank you so much. I love you. Bye.